being so right or correct. That's the problem Paul had in that church in Corinth when people were picking up sides. I'm glad I was baptized by Apollos, and I'm glad I was baptized by somebody else. And then you had the people with thinking one gift was better than the other. And finally, after all that, by chapter 13, Paul comes down and says, doesn't matter how right or correct you are if you speak in the tongues of men and of angels. But if you don't have love, well, you're just nothing but a clanging brass or a shouting cymbal or a crashing cymbal. What's it worth to be right? The interesting thing is in the church, for the first 1,500 years or so, according to Karen Armstrong, the historian, Dr. Armstrong said that for the first 1,500 years, all people cared about in the church was who was God and how can you be close to God. That was it. And then we got the Protestant Reformation and the Enlightenment, and suddenly it became very important about what you believed, what you thought, who was right. And if somebody was right, somebody else was wrong. And then we had all of the different denominations come along. Bill Moyers, in a speech that he made many years ago at Riverside Church, pointed out that we've begun to judge one another by the denomination that we belong to. He said, you drive down any street in a city and you'll see lots of churches. If you look to your right, you'll see a Presbyterian church and you'll think, the Presbyterians, they're Calvinists. They believe in predestination. And then you come to the Methodist church and you say, they believe in infant baptism. And then you come to the Catholic church and you'll think to yourself, well, they're papists. They believe in the infallibility of the Pope and all that. But he said when you went back to the earliest days of the church, when the stern and taciturn pagans would pass a meeting place of the Christians, the only thing they would say was, my, how they loved one another. Is that still true? Is it true for us in our homes, in our community? I still like being right a whole lot of times. And I think I am right a whole lot of times, and I like to argue being right a whole lot of times. But really, how important is it? So being right, being correct, or being in love? I guess the choice is ours. I have a prayer from my favorite book of prayers by a cartoonist named Lunig. It goes like this. Dear God, we struggle, we grow weary, we grow tired, we're exhausted, we're distressed, we despair, we give up, we fall down, we let go, we cry, we're empty, we grow calm, we're ready, we wait quietly. And as we wait quietly, a small, shy truth arrives from without or within, arrives and is born, simple, steady, clear, like a mirror, like a bell, like a flame, like rain in summer. A precious truth arrives and is born within us, within our emptiness. And we accept it. We observe it. We absorb it. We surrender to our bare truth. We're nourished and we are changed. We are blessed. We rise up, and for this we give thanks. Amen. Go in peace. Serve the Lord.